Hello, Myah.
Hello.
I'm here to interview you on your recently released music video called Rabbit Delight.
Okay. I'd
So,
love to talk about it.
I just had a few questions. One, what questions were you trying to answer with this video?
When I created Rabbit Delight, I was thinking, is Bergman's rule applicable in the syllabigus fluoratus? And if it is applicable, can it be proved by a competition hypothesis?
I see. That's the impression I got.
Mm-hmm.
What was your initial hypothesis when creating this video?
Now, initially, I hypothesized that they did follow Bergman's rule. I thought they were going to get larger as it got colder. And then I also believed that it was due to competition hypothesis. So when they're around more species, I thought they were going to be smaller.
Okay, and do you think that the data supports your hypothesis?
The data. Now the data, I collected the latitude and the size from vert.org. And when I plotted this data, we did get a positive correlation that would show that Bergman's rule, assuming that you're doing latitude with temperature, of course, as the latitude increases, now the size is also getting bigger. Now we also ran a scatter plot diagram with the average size per state with its competing species. We too found a correlation there. In fact, the correlation was larger in this second diagram, which has caused us to believe that it was actually the competing species that has more of an effect on the size of the syllabigus fluoratus than latitude itself.
That sounds very scientific.
Thank you.
What would you say was your motivation while creating this video?
Motivation. Ever since I was a child, I've seen many syllabigus floratuses in my neighborhood, and I was like, there's just such curious creatures. And I learned about Bergman's rule in class, and I said, I could apply that to a local species that I know. And I wanted everyone else to have the same excitement and, that I felt toward these rabbits. So my motivation was I wanted this information to be known because I feel like it's an important species that many of us see, and now we have more information about it. It just adds meaning, to our everyday lives, knowing one little bit more fact about that rabbit you see crossing the street.
There are a great deal of rabbits here.
There are.
So we only have you for a few minutes, sadly, so we're going to have to wrap it up with our last question.
Okay.
What was your reasoning behind making this video, and do you feel it was an appropriate choice?
My reasoning. Now, there was many ways that I could have shared my data with you. I could have written an essay. I could have done an artistic display. But, essays, sometimes people skim them. They're not too entertained. When you do art, you have to interpret. I wanted a very clear-cut message for my audience. I wanted something that was going to draw them in. They weren't going to feel bored by it. They're getting the exact same information that you would get from, an essay, but in a fun manner that everyone will enjoy. I thought everyone needed a parody to Rapper's Delight. That classic, a hippie, that's the beat. That makes you think of a rabbit. I think all of us thought it.
Absolutely.
So I said, which rabbit that is? It's the syllabigus fluoratus.
That's precisely what I was thinking every time I hear that song.
That's what I think. I said a rabbit, and I said, I know which rabbit, and I know which hypothesis. Bergman's rule.
Well, thank you.
Competition theory. Competition hypothesis.
Well, that concludes our time,
Yes,
Mrs.
I'm very
Bowen.
busy.
Thank you for your participation.
Thank you.
Come back next week on Office Talks with Rashad Bowen when Beyonce will be here explaining her new album.